Here's your neighborhood moment, a chance to find out about events, activities, and what's happening in your area.
Hi, I'm Tom Ebenho, the chair of the new Tacoma Neighborhood Council. On our first show, we introduced you to our neighborhood council. And on this show, we want to give you a glimpse into a really special part of our community, the Hilltop. And to do that, we're honored today to have both of these guests. We have Brendan Nelson, who is the president of the Hilltop Action Coalition. And we have Mario Lawrence, who is a manager at Hilltop Business Association. So to begin this, let's chat a little bit, Brendan, tell us a little bit about the history of the Hilltop from what it was and where it is today.
Yes, so Tom, thank you for having me here this morning. You know, Hilltop has a rich history and a rich culture. Being a native of the Hilltop, I was fortunate enough to be here in the late 80s, early 90s growing up. And we know that there was a lot of gang violence and crime here in the Hilltop, and there was this stigma that the Hilltop was a dangerous place to live. And you know, there were so many things that happened throughout this community that left people in fear to go outside, left people in fear to interact and engage with each other. And so that created this level of this tension. And, you know, but you can't stay in that place too long. When we think about the Hilltop today, is definitely not the Hilltop that it was before. You know, this is a very vibrant community. This is a very loving neighborhood. And I personally have been able to see businesses up and coming in the Hilltop, you know, being able to see children outside playing again, the arts coming back to the community, and people just engaging and just fellowshipping with one another has been such a huge piece of the growth of the Hilltop. You know, there are so many people that want to keep that narrative of negativity of what the Hilltop was. You know, at one point, you know, people would drive through the Hilltop and not really stop. And now people are looking to lay roots here and to have businesses here. And so just like every city, there are challenges, but I am a proud Hilltopian per se, and I'm excited about the growth of the Hilltop, where we're going, and I'm even happy about our history, because our history is what shapes us and helps us, and we can look back and say, look how far we've come, and I hope others will see that as well. And of course, there are things that as residents we don't necessarily agree with all the time, the things that are happening in the Hilltop, but what I do love is that people are passionate about raising their voices and saying, you know what, this is not something we want in the Hilltop, or this is something that we need in the Hilltop, to be able to see that grow. And I feel like that's a large part of why the Hilltop is where it is now, because people said, you know what, gangs and the violence and the crime that's happening here, we can't keep it here. It has to go. And you know, that was where the Hilltop Action Coalition was formed. People saying we want to drive this stuff out of our community and continue to have it be a thriving, vibrant, and healthy and safe place. And so that's where we are today, and that's where we are continuing to move towards.
Thank you, Brendan. That's perfect. A little snapshot of the stigma, so to speak, that was associated with Hilltop, changing and so different today than what it was. So yes. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to transition over to Mr. Mario here. And Mario, how about you tell us a little bit about what is happening with some activities and the exciting things that are happening up here on
the Hilltop. What's happening? Everybody wants to know because it's pretty exciting. Well, there's a lot of events going on, or at least several. We have a luncheon coming up in February. We have the Hilltop Cherry Blossom Festival and Wine Walk coming up in late April, early May. And then the creme de la creme, the Hilltop Street Fair, comes along in the last Saturday in August. And this year, the Hilltop drew 20,000. Some people think there were 25,000 people in attendance. It's been a remarkable event from the get-go, and it continues to be such. You know, we had the theme this last year came out of the quilt show, which, by the way, we had 85 quilts plus in the show. It was at the old Key Bank site, and two people, Liz Burris and Adana Richardson, put that together, and they just did a remarkable job. It was incredible. And the theme, Unity Through Diversity, came out of Christy Worthy and I putting together this concept along with Reverend Frances Lorenz, my wife. We came up with the idea of how Hilltop is a patchwork of different backgrounds of people. And so the idea of doing a quilt show was born. And we had Liz and Adana who graciously stepped up and put the pieces together. And the luncheon in February, late February, demonstrated that. And we had an overwhelming number that came to that supported the street fair. And this year we'll do it again, probably at Bates, who is one of our major sponsors for the event. And also probably have the luncheon there because it has grown so much. Some of the activities that we've had at the event included the Central Latino. We had 120 cars at the car show. Of course, 11/11, we had the Buffalo Soldiers again. And the kids' events in People's Park was remarkable. We had hip-hop and spoken word going on all the time. The businesses all did very well. It's been remarkable, the transformation that has happened over the 4 years that the Hilltop Street Fair has been going on. Yeah. It's been a wonderful event. But what's really happening here is the link is coming in. And it's going to benefit the businesses and the entire community. It's going to be a real positive thing for the business community because it will connect us with downtown and all the way over to St. Joe's Hospital, and who, by the way, they're one of our sponsors, as well as Multicare and Community Health Care. We've got the hospital zone going, the miracle medical mile, kind of as the mayor puts it. So it's been a really good growth energy for us. We are concerned about the link coming in somewhat because it will come right down MLK, and so we may have to alter our footprint for the street fair. Otherwise, we'll have to stop the train. What are we going to do? But some of the businesses that have come in, the new businesses, I want to just mention them briefly, are Marconi Chiropractic, Black Door Wine, the Zodiac Supper Club, the Red Elm, and of course, Geezy's is going to have a barbecue hamburger place, and they're due to open very shortly. We've gotten the permits together and everything else, and we're looking forward to Grit City coming on board and to Bosco's. And we're also working, our president, Pastor Anthony Steele, is working with the Hilltop Engagement Committee to form the landscape for the link rail that's coming into does that make sense?
It makes sense.
To travel people up and down the MLK.
And tell us, maybe for the audience that doesn't know, for the link, you say it's a connecting to the downtown core. Where would people, if they come to visit, it's going to be up towards the Hilltop MLK, but where does it start?
Well, down at the Dome. It starts at the Dome. Yeah, it starts at the Dome, comes down up Pack Avenue, and then up through the Stadium District up to MLK. It hooks a left there and goes all the way to St. Joe's. Ultimately, I think they wanted to go out to Tacoma Community College, and they're thinking it's going to begin construction in 2018, maybe to be completed in 2020 or 2021, somewhere in there. And I'm thinking, hey, let's get the spikes in the ground and get it rolling, you know?
Yeah, I think it's pretty, and we all say that's exciting news because it is really such a connector. Finally, I mean, the initial link connecting those coming into the city, and now that extension is going to continue around through the stadium area and up into MLK and along the medical mile. I think that's very exciting for our community too. So.
Well, and I didn't mention Tacoma Housing Authority is moving forward with some of the building projects they've got going for affordable market rate apartments and affordable housing. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you both.
Thank you
very much for being here today. Again, it's in sincerity, honored to have both of you talk about something so exciting, what's happening up here on the Hilltop. So, in closing, I'd just like to say to everybody, thank you again for taking your time to be with us on this show today and get a little bit more glimpse into the excitement that's happening up under the Hilltop. And again, hope to see you around the neighborhood in Tacoma, which is a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
For more information on what's going on in your neighborhood, log on to the city's website, cityoftacoma.org/neighborhood councils.